Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee for this showdown in the Big North American Division. Ridgefield Park 2-3 on the season, taking on Fort Lee 2-3. Both teams tied right now for third place in the league. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by my producer, cameraman, everything assembled here today, Dimitri Nanis. We're so glad that he could join us for another edition of Fort Lee Bridgman girls basketball action. Ridgefield Park will be in the road red, Fort Lee in the home white. First meeting since the opening game of last season, which came on January 26. Opening tip won by Sophia Pagan. She breaks out quickly the other way and immediately lays it up and in for the first points of the game for Fort Lee. Pagan won the tip and immediately sprinted down the floor past the defense to get an easy transition layup. Pagan has become the leader, the scoring leader for Coach Bill Straub's side so far this season. She had 9 points in their last game, a loss here against Dumont. They're looking for their first win of the season. That short shot will carry them out of bounds as an air ball, last touched by Ridgefield Park, so it'll go out of bounds and will be possession now for Fort Lee. Amanda Lax is the head coach of Ridgefield Park. Bill Straub, like I mentioned, in his fifth season at the helm here of Fort Lee. 2-0 lead. Pagan now drawing the double team, getting it around as Catalina Gill, the point guard, will drop it off to Isabella Maloney. Maloney reversing it to the near side wing. Now three-point line extended in the corner was Diaz. Inside to Casal, kicking it back up top to Gill. Gill, penetration dribble to Casal on the baseline. That floater a little too long. Fight for the loose ball, taken in by Gill. Gill with a runner across the lane. The layup attempt rattles off the back of the rim, no good. And the rebound secured by Ridgefield Park. Christina Garcia, the senior point guard, getting it up the floor now. Dropped down low as they were trying to find Morales inside. That shot is blocked inside, the turnaround shot, but a foul is whistled on the play. It's going to be a foul charged against Fort Lee. The first team foul of the game for the Bridgmen. As that foul will go against Catalina Gill, her first team's first. 6:40 left to go in our first quarter of play. Early 2-0 lead for Fort Lee. Here's a steal, and there goes Pagan again in the open floor. Missed the layup this time as it's knocked out of play. Last touch off of the Scarlets of Ridgefield Park. So it's going to be an inbounds upcoming here for Gill and Fort Lee. They stack to the right side of the lane. Trying to bounce that one in tight company. Lucky that Diaz was able to scoop it up for Fort Lee. Casal inside to Diaz. Diaz high off the glass, no good. Fight for the loose ball inside. It's going to be a possession arrow, and the arrow favors Ridgefield Park. Scarlets coming to this game on a 2-game winning streak, defeating Dwight Morrow and Woodridge in their last 2 games. While Fort Lee trying to bounce back after suffering that first league loss of the season against Dumont last time out. Her points were at a premium. Here comes Pagan. She is off to a hot start in this game. She tries to go coast to coast and gets that one blocked out of bounds by Nia Carroll. The senior with the stare down after the rejection as well. Nia Carroll, 22 points, 5 assists, and 5 steals in their last win against Woodridge. Pagan off the glass and in. Sophia Pagan with both of Fort Lee's main baskets to start this game. It's a 4-0 lead for the Bridgmen. Carroll reversing it over to the far side of Garcia. Here's Nia Carroll again. She's had big performance this season. 22 points in their last game, 19 points earlier this season against Cliffside Park. Another turnover forced by the Fort Lee defense. While offense has been a struggle this season for the Bridgmen, certainly in their defeats, defense has not been lacking. Here's Maloney from distance. Foot on the line. That's going to be a 2. And Amanda Lax will immediately call a timeout for her side as Fort Lee has raced out to an early 6-0 lead after Maloney sinks the long 2. Again, her foot was on the line, preventing that from being the first made 3 of the game. And what a great start here for the Bridgmen at home, racing out to a 6-0 lead. As I mentioned, this is the first time that these two sides are meeting this season. First time since the opening game of last year's shortened COVID season back on January 26th. here at East Gymnasium. Fort Lee would hold on for a 1-point win, 41-40. Fort Lee has won their last 2 games in this series against Ridgefield Park. A win for the Bridgemen would give them their second league win of the season, and in the process would also move Fort Lee back to 500 on the season, as they're currently at 2-3. Ridgefield Park is looking for their first win on the road here at Fort Lee since 2019. Around the horn it goes. Worked into the corner, trying to feed inside to Morales. Morales kicking out to Carroll. Carroll spinning with it. Left that shot short. Great defense again by Coach Straub's Bridgeman. Fort Lee looking to push it down the floor. Quickly down low inside. There's an opening for Vanessa Diaz, all by her lonesome. Gets the easy layup on a beautiful assist by Pagan. 8-0 lead for Fort Lee. Here's a long-range 3, and the Scarlets are on the board. Janelle Kalala knocking down the first made 3 of the game for either team. 8-3, now the deficit. Again, great passing into the inside for Casal's layup. Fort Lee so unselfish and great court vision in the early goings. They have been dominating in the paint. Here's another 3 for Ridgefield Park. No good this time. Caroms off into the near side corner. Ridgefield Park getting double teamed in the corner. And eventually it's going to lead to a tie-up, and looks like possession arrow is going to be favoring Fort Lee. 10-3 lead for the Bridgemen. Gill surveying the defense, getting it to Casal. Cross-court pass to Pagan. Pagan with a lefty dribble. Tries to lean that one in. No good. Casal on the offensive glass. No good. Diaz with another putback attempt. And she gets fouled in the act of shooting. So for Vanessa Diaz, the 5'4 senior guard for Fort Lee, will head to the foul line with 2 shots. First foul of the game against Ridgefield Park. First foul shot by Diaz is no good. Diaz had 3 points against Dumont in the last game on January 6th. That foul was against Christina Garcia, her first. Second foul shot is good by Diaz. She's got 3 points here in the quarter. 11-3 lead. Once again, an 8-point advantage for Fort Lee. Carroll tries her luck from distance. That's no good. And it hit into the stanchion above the backboard. So that's going to be possession now going back to Fort Lee. The defense giving up nothing easy inside for Fort Lee right now. Just making it all perimeter attempts. Here's a turnover and a chance maybe to push it the other way. Drawing the contact and the foul. And Ridgefield Park will get to the foul line for the first time here this afternoon. As that was Nia Carroll in the open floor. Doing a good job of searching out the contact and bringing home that opportunity for a foul shot. First foul shot by Nia Carroll is good. Again, what a performance last time out against Woodridge over the weekend for Nia Carroll. 22 points, made 4 3-pointers, 5 assists, 5 steals. She goes 1 of 2 at the line there. 11-4 lead. Maloney on the baseline, try to reverse that across the middle. It's tipped away, and now it's going to be an open floor opportunity here for Ridgefield Park. Good transition defense, though, by the Bridgemen. Not allowing that layup attempt. Driving on the baseline, cutting off the baseline. Now here's Carroll from deep, and Carroll swishes home her first made 3 of the game. Carroll with the last 4 points for Ridgefield Park in this game. They pulled back to within 4. Here's Casal on the baseline, just rushed that layup attempt. As Micheline Miles came in and disrupted that easy 2-point try. Twisting inside, the legs got tangled up and the players play on. No foul called on that play. There's Maloney for 3. She banks it home. The bank is open for Isabella Maloney. And the senior with 5 points here in the first quarter. 14-7 now the lead for Fort Lee. Tipped away out of bounds, and it's going to be staying with Ridgefield Park. Fort Lee with 14 points here in the first quarter. They are close to matching already the point averages that they've been having in their first 2 home games of the season. They've only scored 20 points a game in those 2 losses. There's a 3 in the quarter as the threes start to fall from both sides. Nia Carroll with her second made 3 of the quarter. She's got the last 7 points in this game for Ridgefield Park. Pagan pressured, and eventually the turnover is forced. Fort Lee brings it right back, though, as Gill steals it away. 14-10 lead, high-scoring first quarter between these 2 rivals. Pagan, and that's going to be a traveling call against number 22 in white, shuffling her feet as she was pressured into the corner. Now possession is going to go back to Ridgefield Park. So Nia Carroll has got it on fire here. And it looks like it's going to be a turnover against Ridgefield Park. On the inbound, they were moving when they could not be moving. It was not after a made basket. So a mental miscue gives the possession right back to the Bridgemen. Maloney, top of the key. Now Pagan. Pagan trying to get it inside to Casal. Casal up top as Hausman's come in off the bench. Now Gill to Pagan. Pagan sets and fires from 3, no good. Maloney with the offensive rebound. Hausman pulls it back out for 3. She banks it home. The bank is open. Olivia Hausman connects on the second made 3 for Fort Lee in this first quarter. Lead back to 7, 17-10. With under a minute left to go here in the first quarter. Inside the give and go, and there's the layup, missed inside by Miles. Offensive rebound, though, for the Scarlets leads to an open 3 for Carroll off the back iron. Again in the corner. Fort Lee rips it out of the hands of the defender. Steals it right back. Here comes Maloney. Maloney going the distance, trying to go coast to coast. She gets fouled. Good sportsmanship displayed by Carroll. And that'll give number 4 in white, Isabella Maloney, a chance to increase her point total. She already has 5 here in the first. Maloney missing the first foul shot. Both teams with 2 fouls apiece here in the first quarter. Maloney 0 for 2 in that trip to the foul line. Now Ridgefield Park facing a 7-point deficit coming up on the final 25 seconds of the first quarter. An American Division showdown here in the Big North Conference. Sets and fires, no good by Janelle Kalala. Kalala missing on that attempt. Fort Lee trying to save possession here. Under 7 seconds left to go in the quarter. Hausman for 3. That deadened off the back of the iron. With 1 second left to go in the quarter, Ridgefield Park will not get a shot up in time. And Fort Lee with an impressive start to this league showdown here at home against Ridgefield Park. They strike for 17 points in the first quarter. And again, for a Fort Lee side that had been averaging only 20 points per game in their first 2 home games of the season, they have exploded here offensively to stake themselves out to a 7-point lead. Fort Lee scored a season-high 59 in their 38-point win against Dwight Morrow on January 4th. In their last game against Dumont, they were held to only 25 total points in a 48-25 loss at home. They also lost in their season opener here at home against Riverdale, 40-15. So again, things looking great here as the Bridgemen are in search of their first win at home so far this season. They won 41-40 to start off the 2021 season last winter here against Ridgefield Park. Ridgefield Park last season went 5-5 in the shortened season, winning 4 of their final 5 games after getting off to a slow start. Second quarter underway here at East Gymnasium. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, glad that he could join us. And a steal right out of the gate by Catalina Gill. Gill nearly threw it away, and she does. Miles trying to secure the loose ball. She tips it off of her legs last, so it will give the ball right back to Fort Lee. 15 seconds gone by here in the second. Dumont and Cliffside Park both sitting atop the standings, 1-0 league records. Both Ridgefield Park and Fort Lee right behind with 1-1 records. A follow-up attempt after the original three-pointer was missed by Hausman. Gill tried her luck from around 17 feet out, but missed it. Here's Carroll with reckless abandon going right to the hoop and one. Nia Carroll with 9 points already here in the first half, and she has a chance at a traditional three-point play. Carroll at 7 in the first quarter, now adding 3 more here with her second made foul shot of the game. Three-point play pulls Ridgefield Park back to within 4, 17-13. Maloney getting double-teamed in the corner, reversing it out, now on the baseline. Here Fort Lee goes for the jump shot. Elizabeth Lee shot a little too long. Carroll pulls up in transition. She's feeling it, no good. Good box out down low by Diaz, secures the board. Nia Carroll with a game-high 10 points, leading all scorers. Fort Lee still in front by 4. They've led by as many as 8 on a couple of occasions in this game. Diaz across the middle as the C's parted, no good. Lee trying to fight for the rebound, but the rebound is taken down by Carly Kalala. Carly Kalala getting it over now to Carroll. Carroll for 3, no good. Good rebound on the far block there by Maloney with the box out underneath. Fort Lee still looking for their first points of this quarter. Across the middle, Lee kicking it out. Extra pass, Hausman for 3. No good. As we're coming up on 2 minutes now gone by here in the second. Carroll, the do-everything star, has gotten the lion's share of the shot attempts. Will someone also pick up the secondary scoring for the Scarlets? Good interior defense again by Fort Lee on the baseline, knocking that out of play. It'll be an inbound upcoming for Ridgefield Park, but Fort Lee again being very stingy, forcing really everything to be from the outside. As a pair of subs come back into the game for the Bridgemen. Kalala over to the far side. There's a high arcer and banked in that time by Nia Carroll. So we've seen 2 banked in threes made by Fort Lee in the first quarter. Now a banker shot for Ridgefield Park. Carroll on her own 6-0 run. There's a 3 attempt, no good. Ridgefield Park trying to track it down, and they do by Miles. The Scarlets can take the lead here with a made basket. That time tipped away from Carroll. Taken in by Pagan. Pagan hesitates, try to reverse it underneath the rim. Almost bettered her angle that way. Does get the follow-up, and the resilient effort leads to another basket by Sophia Pagan. Pagan leads the way with 6 points for Fort Lee, lead back to 3. The first 2 points of the quarter for the Bridgemen. 3 minutes gone by. And a steal underneath by Casal. Muscles her way away from the competition. Now Gill bringing it up past the timeline. To Pagan in the far side wing. Baseline extended is Maloney. Back now to Pagan. Pagan dribbling it off her foot. Tie up on the floor, and the whistle sounds. Possession arrow will keep it here, as possession will stay with Fort Lee. Nia Carroll has been brilliant here for Ridgefield Park. She has a game-high 13 points, has already knocked down 3 three-pointers in this first half. There's Maloney, loves that spot. Miss on that three-point attempt. She's already banked in 1 from that identical location on the floor. And Carroll using the angle to her advantage. Floating away, kissing it off the glass. She's got 15. She has 15 of her team's 18 in this game. As we approach the midway point of the second quarter, Fort Lee holding on to a 19-18 lead. They led by 7 after 1. Pagan again hard across the middle, and she will draw a foul inside. Coach Lax was trying to call for a charge, but the player defending was not stationary when Pagan made her charge right across the middle. So the aggressive play will send Sophia Pagan to the charity stripe for 2. Pagan missing on the first foul shot. Third team foul for Ridgefield Park. Second for Christina Garcia. Fort Lee missing the pair of foul shots, and they are fortunate that it goes out of bounds. Last touch off of Ridgefield Park. So the inbounds upcoming, possession staying with the Bridgemen. Casal with the elbow jumper, just left it short as it barely grazed iron. Now Carroll will take it up the floor with a chance to give her team the lead. Carroll step back jumper, defended nicely, blocked away by Pagan. And it's going to be a reach-in holding call and a foul underneath the rim against Fort Lee. So possession will stay with Ridgefield Park. And that'll be the 4th team foul against Fort Lee. First foul against Luciana Casal. Inbounds, up and under, and one! As Shanez Morales caught Fort Lee sleeping underneath. Gets the hoop and the harm, and now a chance at a three-point play as Ridgefield Park is taking lead at 20-19. Shanez Morales, the senior, at 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals in their last win against Woodridge on January 8th, as she banks in the foul shot as well. Three-point play gives Ridgefield Park a 21-19 lead. Outscoring Fort Lee 11-2 in this quarter. And there's a big response on the triple by Isabella Maloney. Her second 3 of the first half. She's got a game-high 8 now for the Bridgemen. Carroll tried to answer with a 3 of her own, no good. Here's the breakout the other way for Gill. Doesn't have the numbers, wants to slow things down in the half court. Here's Maloney. Inside to Casal. Casal spinning around her defender and laying it in. Nice post move there. Immediately with no hesitation by Casal. And that'll force another timeout by Ridgefield Park as Fort Lee has responded with a 5-0 run to turn a deficit into a 3-point lead here late in the second quarter of play. Again, both teams with identical 2-3 overall records on the season and 1-1 marks in the Big North American Division. Ridgefield Park coming in on a 2-game win streak. Fort Lee trying to bounce back after suffering a loss their last time out. Both teams have defeated Dwight Morrow in league play for their win. Fort Lee losing to Dumont and Ridgefield Park losing to Cliffside Park in their other league showdown. Fort Lee trying to make it 3 consecutive wins against the Scarlets here at East Gymnasium, dating back to the last Scarlet victory coming in 2019, on January 15, 2019. 24-21, the lead back to 3 after Ridgefield Park had gone on a run to take a lead of 2, their first lead of the contest. 2:42 left to go here in the second quarter. As Carly Kalala handing it back to Nia Carroll. Reach and foul against Fort Lee. As that'll be a foul charged against Vanessa Diaz. That'll be the 6th-team foul against Fort Lee, so every additional foul will mean foul shots the rest of the half for Ridgefield Park. The Scarlets themselves have only committed 3 fouls. Give and go. Carroll outside, just inside the three-point line, and the jumper falls. There's a silky smooth finish there by Carly Kalala. Kalala's first 2 points of the game. Back to a 1-point lead for Fort Lee, 24-23. As we approach the final 2 minutes, there's another three, no good by the Bridgemen. Rebounded by Kalala. Trying to lead past the Miles, who had her back to the play. That was going to be a tough one to convert. Give and go underneath. It's going to be last touch off of the fingertips of Carroll out of bounds. Diaz will do the inbounding. As they'll hand it off as Gill will actually handle the inbound now for Fort Lee. Hausman back to Gill. Gill inside the arc, back out top to Hausman, who was one of the three-pointers in this first half. On the baseline, Pagan contorting the body, overshooting the rim though. Carroll with the rebound. Carroll has a game-high 15 for Ridgefield Park. That three was left short, though, by Janelle Kalala. That pass, a dangerous one, leads to a turnover the other way for Miles. But Miles gets her pocket picked by Gill. Gill keeping her head up this time. Safer pass to Hausman. Tries to bank that one in, no good. Carroll with the breakout. She's got the speed and the angle, and she gets fouled on her way up. That'll send Nia Carroll to the foul line once again, where she's 2 for 3 this afternoon, with a chance with 2 made foul shots to once again give Ridgefield Park the advantage in this game just before halftime. Carroll missing on the foul shot. She's now 2 of 4 from the line. That foul was against Gill, her second. Carroll makes amends and swishes home the second made foul shot. She's got 16 in the half. 24-24. Deflected. And now a whistle, and is that going to be a foul against Casal? As it should be now a 1-and-1 opportunity for Ridgefield Park, so a costly foul there. All the way back right in front of the opposing hoop. And a reach-in foul whistled against Fort Lee. Their 8th team foul, as Casal will also pick up foul number 2 in the game for her. 1-and-1 now for Miles. Miles missing the foul shot, but a pair of Bridgemen had lane violations jumping inside the paint before she could attempt that shot. So it's going to be another opportunity for the front end of this 1-and-1. Will Miles make Fort Lee pay? She doesn't. She misses that. Pagan with a rebound. Maloney eventually gets to Gill. Gill for 3. Shoots it and misses. Now it's going to be Carroll in the open floor. Carroll getting it up top. Down on the block to Miles. Give and go inside with contact. Morales not phased. Shanez Morales with 5 points in the half. 26-24 now for Ridgefield Park. They've gone on a 5-0 run, and that's going to deflect out of bounds. Last touch off of Diaz with 22.2 seconds left to go in the first half. Amanda Lack barking out the instructions for her team, saying hold for one final shot of the half. Ridgefield Park is trailed by as many as 8 in the half, now leading by 2. Pass nearly intercepted. Carroll still has it. Give and go inside, and Morales with the layup attempt. Unlucky there for the Bridgemen. They nearly had the interception, but eventually it found its way inside to number 1, Shanez Morales, who finishes with back-to-back hoops to end the first half of play. And Ridgefield Park will take a 28-24 lead with them into halftime. So stick around. We'll be back for the start of the second half. You're watching Fort Lee girls basketball action here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. So there was a whistle there at the end of the half that allows Sophia Pagan to take foul shots. I don't know if it was a technical of some sort. So Pagan knocks down both shots. They're going to say that she was fouled in the act of shooting a three. What a costly foul. As Pagan knocks down all 3 shots. So instead of having a 4-point lead heading into halftime, a mental miscue there right at the buzzer on a half-court shot that had no chance of falling. Pagan was fouled in the act of shooting. She knocks down all 3 foul shots to give her 9 points. And Fort Lee now makes this only a 1-point deficit heading into the break. So stick around. We'll come back for more action starting in the second half as you're watching Fort Lee girls basketball here on YouTube. Welcome back, fans, inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee, where we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half. Ridgefield Park with a 1-point lead on top of Fort Lee, 28-27. Again, though, they were ready to go into the locker room with a 4-point lead, which was their largest lead of the first half, but then they fouled Sophia Pagan on a half-court shot attempt just prior to the final buzzer. Pagan knocked down all of the three foul shot attempts to make this only a 1-point game heading into the start of the second half. Look at the stats from the first half of play. Nia Carroll, the leading scorer for both sides. She's got a game-high 16. Shanez Morales has chipped in 7 points as well. Janelle Kalala with 3 and Carly Kulala with 2, accounting for the 28 first half points for Ridgefield Park. On the other side for Fort Lee, Sophia Pagan with a game-high 9 points for the Bridgemen. Isabella Maloney with a pair of 3-pointers and also a layup attempt has also gotten in 8 points in this game. Luciana Casal with 4 points and Olivia Hausman with a 3 as well for Fort Lee. Ridgefield Park 4 of 7 from the foul line. In the first half, they knocked down 4 3-pointers. Fort Lee 4 of 9 from the charity stripe. They also knocked in an identical 4 made 3-pointers. With the adjustments here at halftime, how can Fort Lee slow down the efforts of Nia Carroll? Easier said than done. She's got the 16. She is the focal point of this offense for the Scarlets. We'll begin the second half with possession on offense. Ridgefield Park scored only 10 points in the first quarter, outscored Fort Lee 18-10 to take that 1-point halftime lead. In the second quarter, layup attempt missed by Garcia, but she gets her own miss. Possession kept alive. Here's Garcia bottled up on the baseline. They try to get it inside for Morales. Diving to make the play was Gill for Fort Lee. Here come the Bridgemen the other way, and a layup on the right side by Diaz. Did a nice job of dribbling and shielding herself from the advancing defender. Diaz with 5 points in the game. Fort Lee back on top, 29-28. Pagan extending her defense a little bit out. Carly Kalala doing a great job of dribbling. Maloney with the rejection there. Fort Lee with great start defensively to the second half. They try to dump it down low to Diaz, and that goes out of bounds. Last touch off of Ridgefield Park. And a timeout is going to be taken by head coach Bill Straub of the Bridgemen, as Fort Lee's going to want to talk things over with 7:38 left to go. Just moments gone by here in the start of the second half, as Fort Lee has got on the board quickly and has taken back the lead at 29-28. Ridgefield Park coming into this one 11th in power points in North 2 Group 2. Top team is Hackettstown. Ridgefield Park ranking number 11. The top 16 teams make the postseason. And for Fort Lee, they are going to be in North 2 Group 3 this season. They come into today's game ranked number 12 in the group field. Top teams tied at the top, Summit and Randolph. Out of the timeout, it's going to lead to a travel on the play, so Coach Straub was trying to draw up something to get the ball to Pagan, who was helped up off the hard court by a couple of Ridgefield Park defenders. Good sportsmanship there, but not what the coach wanted right out of the timeout. And miscues aplenty now, as possession is going to be traded right back to Fort Lee after a tie-up ensued, and it's going to be a jump ball situation with possession going back to the Bridgemen. 7:25 and counting left to go in the third quarter. 29-28 lead for Fort Lee. Here's Gill, thought about the three, wide open, and for three is Maloney looking for her third triple just off the back rim. Carly Kalala, the freshman point guard, finding her sister on the baseline. Jumper off the side of the rim, no good. And then a follow-up attempt by Morales is deflected away. Pagan trying to run down the pass in the open court. Just couldn't get there in time, as that leads to a turnover the other way. Possession going back to Ridgefield Park. Scarlets have led by as many as 4 in this game. Off the screen to the near side. Pagan got a piece of the three-point attempt by Janelle Kalala. It's another block here for Pagan in the game. She has been ferocious as a defender. Gill, right down the middle of the lane, draws the contact on her way up. Nice penetration move there by Catalina Gill, the junior guard. And she'll earn 2 shots at the foul line on the shooting foul. First foul of the second half for either team, as that foul will go against Miles, the freshman, number 32. Foul shooting was a concern for Coach Straub after that first half. 4 of 9 for his team from the foul line in the first. Now they're 4 of 10 in the game. Got to make the most of your opportunities at the charity stripe. Gill makes amends after missing the first, knocks down the second. First point of the game now extends the Fort Lee lead to 30-28. And a steal now by Diaz. Diaz nearly traveled with it. Back and forth, and they get it to Diaz on the block. Amanda Lax furious at the lack of a travel call. She might have an argument. Diaz getting away with that one and eventually leading to the layup. Diaz now with 7 points in the game, 4 of which have come here in the third quarter alone. And now a little overambitious with the defense. There was Fort Lee, as Diaz is going to be called for the foul, and that is her third personal. 5:58 left to go here in the third. Fort Lee has taken a 4-point lead, 32-28. A 5-0 run to start this second half for the Bridgemen. Janelle Kalala eventually getting it over to Miles. Now over to Carly Kalala. Gill nearly with another steal. Kalala over to Miles. Patient offensive set. Here's Carroll looking for a slimmer of an opening. Gets the shot attempt, no good. Rebounded by Gill. And Carroll is hurt behind the play. Slow to get to her feet for Ridgefield Park. Diaz missing the layup attempt, and now a whistle sounds, and hopefully Carroll is going to be okay, as she is writhing in pain right now on the other side of the floor with 5:10 left to go here in the third. Fort Lee had an opportunity, a numbers advantage to their advantage on the other side of the floor, but Diaz could not get the layup to fall. And as soon as the ball was taken in by Ridgefield Park, that's when the officials blew dead the play and will allow the training staff here at Fort Lee to attend to Nia Carroll, who again was writhing in pain behind the course of the play. She will gingerly make her way off the floor, but all different players now and fans here in attendance. Round of applause for her, as again, that was scary to see for a brief moment. She was holding on to her left leg briefly. So now the inbounds up top. Here's a three, rattled in and out for Maloney. Rebounded by Ridgefield Park. As they get it on the baseline, high arcing jumper. That's going to be rebounded by Maloney of Fort Lee. Both teams trading a couple of tough jump shot misses. Now to the near side, there's a floater attempt by Pagan, no good. Rebounded instead by Ridgefield Park. Bear with us, we're short-staffed here today, so the camera operator will be back in a second, attending to other matters right now here at the gym, so just follow along as I'll be describing all the action. In the half court here, tied up underneath is Miles. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will keep the possession here with Ridgefield Park. With 4:23 left to go here in the third. So you haven't missed any of the shots so far in this time period, as neither team has been able to score in the last couple of minutes. Still, it remains a 32-28 lead. The inbounds is stolen away by Pagan. Pagan in the open floor now for Fort Lee. She twirls her way inside, twisting each and every way, and that eventually leads to the travel on the play. 32-28. Still the lead for Fort Lee. They trail 28-27 at halftime. We're at the midway point of this third quarter, and Ridgefield Park is still in search of their first points of the quarter. Fort Lee doing a great job defending out of their 2-3 zone. Garcia. Kalala. Split wide now. Here's Morales. Again, they're playing without their star, Nia Carroll, who was hurt a couple of possessions ago. She's stretching it out, though, and hopefully gets back in the game soon. Morales missing that shot, but the follow-up attempt by Miles is off the mark, but she does draw the contact. We'll head to the foul line for 2. Third team foul of this half against Fort Lee. Micheline Miles. The freshman missing on that foul shot. 0 for 2 from the line so far here this afternoon. And good to see Nia Carroll back into the game for the Scarlets. Second foul shot also left short by Miles. Tries to race down her own miss, but can't, as Pagan gets it squirting free. So Ridgefield Park still scoreless here in the second half. Can Fort Lee extend their lead? There's Pagan with a move down the lane. No good. Casal with the putback attempt also missing. Pagan taps it out to her teammate to keep the possession going. Maloney from 3. No good off the back iron. Hustle plays aplenty, leading to another shot opportunity. That time no good. And over aggressively going over the back of the defender was Nadia Sango. As Sango will pick up the foul. That is team foul number 4 already against the Bridgemen. There's a 3 knocked down on the far side by Cristina Garcia. Garcia finally secures the first points of the second half for Ridgefield Park, as that's going to be a foul underneath. So right now they're counting that as just the third team foul against Fort Lee on that last foul. One-point lead for the Bridgemen, 32-31. Pagan eventually leads to a turnover. Now the Scarlets with a chance to retake the lead. Carroll right down the middle. She's stripped on her way through. Great play by Gill. Here's Pagan in the open floor. She goes hard to the rim. She's looking for the goal. And now a technical foul against Pagan for mouthing off after she went hard to the rim. She adamantly protested against the lack of a call against the referee. And a technical foul quickly administered against Pagan will send Nia Carroll to the line. Carroll will rattle in that foul shot. That'll tie the game up at 32 all. First point to the second half for Carroll. She goes 2 for 2 at the line. And that'll give the Scarlets the lead right back. They've gone on a 5-0 run. 2:30 left to go in the third. 33-32, Ridgefield Park on top of Fort Lee in this Big North American Division League contest. Ridgefield Park looking for their first win here at Fort Lee since 2019. And that time, Kalala getting called for steps. Nia Carroll with a game-high 18 points, leading the charge right now for Ridgefield Park. Fort Lee had chances to extend their lead. They led by as many as 4 here in the third quarter. Could not, especially when Carroll was on the bench. With a missed shot, here comes Miles the other way. Gill steals it right back. She's been a dynamo defensively here today. Gill, though, trying to do a little too much, leading her teammate who was breaking the opposite way. And that'll lead to another turnover for the Bridgemen. 33-32, the lead for Ridgefield Park. The winner of today's game will get back to 500 on the season and get to 3-3. and also pick up their second win in the league. Inside, the turnaround shot, no good by Morales. Rebounded by Gill. Where can the scoring come from here for the Bridgemen? They scored 17 in the first quarter, but were held to 10 in the second quarter. Struggling again to put up points here in the third. Casal's short shot on the baseline leads to a rebound and a breakout here for the Scarlets. 1:15 and counting left to go in the quarter. Good ball movement. Here's the baseline jumper, and that's rattled in by Carly Kalala. Kalala's second made jumper of the game. She's got 4. Lead back to 3 now for Ridgefield Park with 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter. 35-33. Here's a jump shot attempt, and the 3 knocked down on the near side. Halsman knocking down her second made 3 of the game. She's got 6. We're all tied up at 35 all. 35 seconds and counting left to go here in the third. Morales camped out inside the lane. Kalala's jump shot no good. And that's going to be a foul over the back against Christina Garcia. Only the second team foul against Ridgefield Park so far here in the second half. With 21.4 seconds left to go. But for Christina Garcia, that is her 4th personal foul. Ridgefield Park has not fouled all that often here today, but when they have fouled, usually it's been number 3. So she'll have to sit a bit here before coming back into the game. Gill picks up her dribble, looks for an outlet. Wide open underneath. Layup no good. As they try to go down the other way, that was a missed opportunity for Pagan, who was wide open underneath. Just could not convert on the layup. 1.8 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Fort Lee can get one final shot off before the quarter. Diaz across the court to Maloney. Maloney gets it up. Just a little too long on the jumper. That would have given Fort Lee back the lead. So the Bridgemen turn a 1-point deficit at halftime into a tie game after 3. We head to the start of the fourth quarter. Tied up at 35 all. You're watching Fort Lee girls basketball here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Nia Caro is the leading scorer for Ridgefield Park. She has 18 points in the game. Sophia Pagan, leading scorer for Fort Lee. She's got 9. Carroll only at 2 points in that third quarter on the technical foul shots, while Pagan was frustrated and did not score at all in that third quarter of play. Scarlets have led by as many as 4 in this game. Fort Lee had an early 8-point advantage against Ridgefield Park back in the first quarter. Fort Lee went on a run and took a 4-point lead in the third quarter. Then Ridgefield Park went on a 7-0 run of their own before Fort Lee and Houseman sank a 3 late in the third to tie it up at 35 all. So we're underway to begin the fourth quarter. So glad you could join us here from East Gymnasium at Fort Lee. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis here on this Fort Lee Athletics broadcast. Carroll, wild shot that time. Was a brick, didn't have anything left behind, and Houseman will pick it up. Here comes Fort Lee down the floor into the corner. Give and go pass inside, but Diaz rushed that layup attempt on the far side block. Fort Lee missing a couple of bunnies inside in the last couple shot opportunities. Worked around. There's a three-pointer banked in by Janelle Kalala. Her second, made 3 of the game. She's got 6. Back to a 3-point lead for Ridgefield Park. Maloney's three-pointer, too long that time as that went wide. As it will be Ridgefield Park possession. As they whistle Pagan for the foul on the play, her second. Team's 5th. Down low, Morales losing control. Ridgefield Park were not able to keep it. No, they were able to get the possession, call a timeout right in front of their own bench as Carly Kalala tracked it down before it went out of bounds. And that'll give the Ridgefield Park coaching staff a chance to diagnose what they want to run here as they're holding on to a 38-35 lead here in the fourth quarter. For Ridgefield Park, the road ahead. After this one, they'll travel to Westwood on January 13th before going back home to host Dumont on the 18th. And then we'll hit the road again on January 20th to travel to Mahwah. For Fort Lee, the road ahead for the Bridgemen. They'll be having back-to-back games against arch rival Cliffside Park. On January 13th, they'll travel to the Red Raiders, and then we'll play host to Cliffside Park here at East Gym. And our next girls basketball broadcast on Saturday morning, January 15th. That broadcast bright and early at 10 a.m., so join us then for our next Fort Lee girls basketball game. Out of the timeout, Pagan with the forced turnover. Pagan going coast to coast, laying it in, and one. Sophia Pagan not to be denied that time. Got the steal, took it down the length of the floor, and weathered the contact and got the hoop in the harm. So Pagan now with a chance to tie the game at a 3-point play. And Pagan calmly and coolly swishes home the foul shot. She's made her last 4 consecutive foul shots. 38-38. Miles double teamed in the corner, getting it down low to Morales. Kicked around the perimeter. Janelle Kulala, she gets double teamed. She gets it stripped away. Pagan fighting for the loose ball. It's taken in by Ridgefield Park. Morales had one control. Again, players getting dirty on the floor. Pagan hustling her way into the corner. As it's going to say, last touch off of Hausman, who went her way into the corner there. Outstanding hustle by both teams. Getting the floor burns, getting dirty to get possession late in this game. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Carroll underneath to Miles. That got deflected. And it's going to be last touch off of Fort Lee as Miles was sandwiched in between a double team of Bridgman defenders. Carroll with the inbounds. Will get it up top. Carly Kalala. Eventually find its way to Carroll for 3. No good. Good box out down low by Pagan. Here comes Pagan breaking out the other way. She's got a game-high 12 for Fort Lee. She's not stopped again. Another right-handed layup for Sophia Pagan. A game-high 14 for the Bridgemen. And Fort Lee back on top, this time 40-38. 5.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Both teams trading the lead. Maloney trying to time that steal and nearly came away with the steal. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Ridgefield Park. Shanez Morales getting called for the moving screen. And now both teams with 5 team fouls here in the second half. Officially, they're going to call it against Carly Kalala. Now her second. Fort Lee trying to extend their lead. Sophia Pagan has willed them to take back the lead. Here's Maloney from the elbow. No good. She's run cold after scoring all 8 of her points in the first half. Carroll getting it back up top. Kalala playing a game of catch with her. Garcia back into the game. She now has it to the near side. She's playing with 4 fouls. Carroll open for the jumper. No good. Miles with a rebound. Freshman has done a nice job off the bench And she also draws the contact there on that foul against Fort Lee. And that'll be the 6th-team foul against the Bridgemen. The foul will go against Isabella Maloney. And Maloney, that's her 2nd foul. And there's a 3 knocked down by Carroll right in front of her bench to give Ridgefield Park the lead back at 41-40. Carroll is connected on 4 threes in this game. That ball was loose at midcourt. It looked like it was going to be a numbers advantage for Ridgefield Park. It leads instead to the transition jumper by Catalina Gill to give Fort Lee the lead back at 42-41. Timeout taken by Fort Lee, stopping the clock with 4:10 remaining here in the 4th quarter of play. Back and forth affair between these longtime league rivals as Fort Lee has taken back the lead on the jumper by Catalina Gill. What about the shooting and the scoring of Nia Carroll? Again, she had 22 points and 4 made threes in their last game against Woodridge. She's got 21 points and 4 made threes here today on the road against Fort Lee. And for Fort Lee, they're led by Sophia Pagan. Pagan has a game-high 14 points and has come alive here in the 4th quarter, scoring 5 of her 14 points to give Fort Lee the lead back at 42-41. It was a 1-point game to open up the season last year between these two. It was a 41-40 win for Fort Lee in that one, so it's going to be a higher scoring game here today. But who will make the necessary plays and the stops on defense? Dating back to last season, Fort Lee has lost their last 3 home games. They're looking for their first win here at East Gym since February 11th of last season, and a 12-point win against Cliffside Park. So after the timeout, we reach the midway points of our 4th quarter. Carroll and Ridgefield Park with it on offense, down by 1. Garcia, who had fallen down, gets right back up, and the floater on the baseline rattles in and out. Miles with the offensive rebound. Diaz with the anticipation makes the steal. It's going to be a tie-up, and possession arrow favors Fort Lee. So the Bridgemen making the stop on defense. Great job by Diaz of getting the tie-up, and the possession arrow giving it to Fort Lee. Pagan getting by the double team inside to Casal. Casal no good. Pagan with the follow-up. She left it short on the other side. She tries to tie it up. Does a good job of doing that. Possession arrow will give it back to Ridgefield Park, but Pagan did a nice job of not fouling on the play. Every subsequent foul in this game against Fort Lee will send Ridgefield Park to the line for the single bonus. Hausman defending on the baseline against Miles. Miles pass deflected away, and another turnover forced by Fort Lee. Still a 1-point lead for the Bridgemen. Gill giving it over to Pagan. Pagan picking up her dribble. Back to Gill. Gill's jumper moments ago gave Fort Lee the lead at 42-41. Gill across the middle, leaving for Casal. Casal's air ball taken in by Gill, though. Here's Hausman for 3. Got it! Olivia Hausman with 9 points off the bench for Fort Lee. Her 3rd made 3 of the game. And that time a little out of control as that goes out of bounds of the pass attempt by Miles. And will be a turnover on the play with 2:41 left to go in the 4th quarter. Fort Lee now with a 4-point advantage after the 3rd made 3-pointer of the game for Olivia Hausman. The 5'5" sophomore guard knocking down a huge triple there to extend the lead for Fort Lee, who are trying to garner their 3rd win of the season, and the first of which here at home this year. And for Coach Straub, he's got to be thrilled at how his offense came to play here today. Again, they had some tough luck offensively in their prior 2 home games against Riverdale and Dumont, averaging only 20 points in those 2 games. They've produced 45 points here today. The defense has made a couple of key plays late here in the 4th quarter. Now can they get to the finish line and bring home their first win at home this season? For Ridgefield Park, you have to think that they're going to be trying to go with Nia Carroll the remainder of this game. A couple of teammates have found their way as well offensively. Janelle Kalala has knocked down a pair of threes in this game, but Nia Carroll with a game-high 21. I think you're going to have a heavy dose of number 21 for the remainder of this game for all ensuing offensive plays. Ridgefield Park bringing the full court pressure. Inbound is to Gill. To Pagan in front of the scorer's table. Pagan dribbling it back to the near side. Picks up the dribble. Outlets it into the far corner. Nobody was there for Fort Lee as she throws it away for a turnover. So the full court pressure works wonders and forces the turnover. Ridgefield Park gets it back on offense. Under 2.5 minutes now left to go in regulation. 4-point lead. They're face guarding Carroll now, trying to deny her the basketball. They still get it to number 21. Poked away from her, though, by Diaz. Gets it down the floor to Pagan. Pagan again to the right side and lays it up and in. Defense leads the offense. 6-point lead for Fort Lee. 47-41. 2 minutes left to go here in regulation. Big defensive play moments ago by Diaz. And now the reach-in foul against Fort Lee will help out Ridgefield Park. That'll be the 7th team foul against the Bridgemen. It will not only stop the clock, but will send the Scarlets to the line shooting 1-1. Gill picking up her 3rd personal foul, team 7. Christina Garcia to the line shooting 1-1. Garcia took her time and knocked it home easily. Garcia now with 4 points in the game and her first made foul shot of the contest. 47-42 lead now for Fort Lee. Garcia's second foul shot too strong, but Miles scoops in for the opportunity to get an extra possession here for Ridgefield Park. So it still remains a 5-point lead. Now Ridgefield Park with the inbounds. Janelle Kalala looking to get it in. Tipped away though. Diaz with the turnover. Stops on a dime and lays it in. A savvy play there by Vanessa Diaz, not only with the interception, but then slowly taking it the other way, having the defender fly by her so she could bank it in. Carroll goes down quickly in a flash to draw the contact, and it'll be a 2-shot opportunity now at the line for Nia Carroll. Carroll knocks down the first foul shot. She's got 22 in the game. 6 of 8 from the foul line here today for number 21, the senior Nia Carroll. Carroll goes 2 of 2. 23 in the game. Full court pressure, 5-point lead for Fort Lee. Catalina Gill nearly turning it over, getting it over to her teammate Pagan in time. Now the Bridgemen trying to work a little clock, but Casal's pass off the mark and out of bounds, and a turnover again forced by Ridgefield Park. 1:26 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ridgefield Park's defense really turning up the pressure here. The waning moments of this fourth quarter of play. Diaz marking and shadowing closely Carroll. Underneath is Miles. Miles misses the layup attempt. Diaz with a rebound. Gets it into the hands of Gill. Ridgefield Park with fouls to give. Now they'll administer their 6th-team foul. All the rest now in this game will lead to foul shot opportunities for Fort Lee. If you can inbound it and hit your foul shots, you'll win the game. Here's Pagan. That's who you want to get it into. And Pagan is going to be fouled again by Carly Kalala. Kalala picking up her 4th personal foul. And that'll send Pagan to the line shooting 1-1. Sophia Pagan, 4 of 6 from the foul line here this afternoon. Game high 16 for Fort Lee. In and out. Offensive rebound, no. stripped away from Maloney, who looked to be camping out inside. Pagan got a piece of that deflection. Good hustle on the play by the junior. Possession will stay here with Ridgefield Park with 56 seconds left to go, and a timeout's going to be taken on the floor. But it will be an inbound upcoming for the Scarlets, down by only 5. Pagan's miss of the front end of the 1-and-1, giving an opportunity for Ridgefield Park to come back in this game. Again on the line, Ridgefield Park trying to get their second win of the season in the Big North American Division, and also in the process pick up their first win here at Fort Lee since 2019. For Fort Lee, they're trying to pick up their first win at home this season, while also improve their record to 2-1 in league play and get back to 500 on the season at 3-3. And because we're already at the midway point of January, getting closer and closer to that actual midway point, it's not too early to start taking a peek at the power points. Fort Lee coming into today's game ranked 12th overall in North 2 Group 3. Top 16 make the postseason. So a win here would do wonders for Fort Lee to try to assure themselves one of those spots in the top portion of that bracket. Again, if you get into the top 8, you even host the game here potentially at East Gymnasium for Ridgefield Park. They're 11th in the North 2 Group 2 power points rankings. So a win here also would help their cause. 56 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. 49-44, the deficit facing Ridgefield Park. They inbound it to the far side, intercepted by Diaz. Diaz been a lockdown defender here this entire game. Valuable seconds being ticked off the clock, and now Ridgefield Park is going to eventually foul and send Pagan to the line again, shooting 1-1. 8-team foul against Ridgefield Park. That time it's going to be going against Janelle Kalala. Her sister has 4. That's only her first. So Pagan again with a chance to extend the lead for the Bridgemen. The 1-1, and this time Pagan knocks down the front end of the 1-1. Will be rewarded a second shot opportunity. Pagan, clutch shooting there, knocking down a pair. She's got 18 in the game for Fort Lee. And Miles is fouled on her way up, stopping the clock quickly with a lead back to 7, 51-44, with 41.2 left here in the fourth quarter. Miles hits the first foul shot. Her first made foul shot of the game. She's got 1 point in the contest. She's 1 of 4 at the line. Miles takes a long time to get the foul shot off. And it looks like for the second time in this game, it's going to be a lane violation against Maloney and Fort Lee. So that gives Miles a second shot at this foul shot. And she makes the most of that second opportunity. She knocks down a pair. 51-46 the lead, and now a foul against Carroll as she administers the 19th foul for Ridgefield Park. So again, it's going to be 1-1 for Fort Lee, this time for Catalina Gill. It'll be double bonus the rest of the way for Fort Lee after this one, so it's going to be 2 shots the rest of the way. Can they convert here on the last 1-1? Gill does. Smooth shot there for Catalina Gill, who's 2 of 3 at the line. 4 points in the game for the junior point guard. Again, clutch foul shooting when it matters the most for Coach Straub's side. 53-46, Fort Lee on top. Approaching 30 seconds remaining in regulation. Morales over to Miles. Miles hounded in the corner, and they're going to call Maloney for a pushing foul. I don't know about that. Miles was fumbling that one away. I don't know if Maloney was really contacting in that corner, but the official makes the call from the far side. 2-shot foul as that's the 10th team foul against Fort Lee. And Miles sinks down another one. So after beginning this game 0 for 3 from the line, now Micheline Miles has knocked down her last 3 foul shot attempts. Miles missing on that one. Tipped out. Be last touch off of the Scarlets. So possession now for Fort Lee, trying to hold on here with a 6-point advantage. 53-47. So the foul is going to be against Carly Kalala, and if that is the case, that is her 5th personal foul. She has fouled out of this game, and that's the 10th team foul against Ridgefield Park, so it's now double bonus the rest of the way for Fort Lee. So Catalina Gill with 2 foul shots, trying to extend the lead here for Fort Lee. 53-47 Bridgman. Gill, ice water in the veins here on her trips to the foul line in the 4th quarter. 4 for 5 from the foul line in this game. Gill again, money at the line. She's got 7 in the game. Back to the largest lead of the game at 8, 55-47. 20 seconds and counting left to go in the game. And Maloney over-aggressive there. You appreciate the hustle, but in doing so, she stops the clock, and that's what's keeping hope alive here for Ridgefield Park, as that will also be the 5th and final foul against Bella Maloney. So Maloney has fouled out of this game for Fort Lee with 17.7 seconds left to go in the contest. That foul shot left short there by Garcia. Remains an 8-point lead for Fort Lee, 55-47. 17.7 seconds left to go in the 4th. Garcia missing a pair, but Pagan not able to secure the loose ball. Rebound. It'll be possession and an inbound upcoming for Ridgefield Park underneath the rim. Time running out, though, for the Scarlets. They turn it away and turn it over now to Gill. Gill will just dribble it out. Will they put on another foul? Will be content with just running out the time. Looks like the Scarlets will not foul, as Pagan will just dribble it out in the corner, and the Fort Lee Bridgemen will win for the first time at home here in the 2021-2022 season by a final score of 55-47. Ridgefield Park with the defeat will fall to 2-4 on the season. Fort Lee with the victory will improve to 3-3 overall this season. Again, in the process, pick up their first win here at home. Nia Carroll had a game-high 23 points to lead the charge for Ridgefield Park. She was sensational, and Fort Lee was led by the heroic efforts of Sophia Pagan. She had 18 points to lead the way for the Bridgemen. Clutch foul shooting at the end by Catalina Gill. She finished with 7. Vanessa Diaz was outstanding defensively. She had 9. And that will finish things off here at East Gymnasium again, as Fort Lee victorious by a final score of 55-47. Fort Lee will hit the road in their next time out and will take on Cliffside Park on the road on January 13th before coming back home here to East Gymnasium on Saturday as part of the Coaches versus Cancer event, and will take on Cliffside Park in back-to-back matchups over the weekend. We'll be bringing you all the action on Saturday. Again, that time starting at 10 a.m. So again, the final score here from East Gymnasium, it's Fort Lee 55, Ridgefield Park 47. For my main man, Dimitri Nanis, who's a jack of all trades here today, I'm Dan Long saying so long here from Fort Lee. You've been watching Bridgeman basketball action on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Take care, everybody.